Your number one self-defense weapon is not your gun, it is your powers of observation. When you hone these powers, they will be much more effective than just using your gun. When I am out in public, I notice that most people have very little powers of observation. They are usually distracted by music, arguing with their children, or some other behavior that puts them at risk. Criminals watch for people who are not paying attention to what is going on. These are easy marks to assault or rob. Many years ago, I decided that if I did not hone my powers of observation, I would be getting more lumps on my head. It is surprising how quickly you will learn to be more observant so as to not be beaten up. I trained myself as a teenager to start scanning all around me, near and far. That saved me from getting into more trouble than I did. Whether I am walking in my car or in my house, I am always extremely observant of what is going on around me. Oftentimes I will ask my wife after we have left a store, did she notice a certain person in the store? I will describe the man and then she will say she never saw the person. I will tell her what the man was wearing and how he was acting. I will mention if any of his behavior threatened us. My wife would be more observant if she has not come to rely on me watching whatever is going on around us. If I am walking down the street, I begin scanning all around me. I start scanning people in the short distance and expand out down the street, usually to 2 or 3 blocks away. I take notice of anyone I see looking around corners, at entrances to buildings, or off to the side. I regularly look to see what is behind me. Try practicing this with your training partner. As you are walking down the street, describe to your training partner the different people you see in front and back of you. Tell your training partner how you would rate each person. For example, if you see an elderly person pushing a walker, you could note that they do not present any threat to you. If you see a young tough, you could note that this person presents a potential threat to you. Once my mother wanted to go to a JCPenney's in our hometown. I did not want to go in and so remained in our car. In about a half an hour, my mother came briskly walking out of the store and got into our car. I asked her why she was walking so fast back to the car. She said that she was in the basement of the store when she noticed 2 young men. She thought they were up to no good. I asked her specifically what she thought they might do to her. She said rob or assault her. About when she finished telling me that, she pointed out the 2 men as they walked past our car. She asked if I thought they looked suspicious or was it her imagination. I told her I knew those 2 guys very well. I knew that they both had extensive felony records and her instinct was correct. Think of different situations you get into in your daily life and mentally role play what would you do if you became suspicious of someone. If you think of different predicaments ahead of time, you will know what to do if you ever have a similar situation. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. Let's say you go to the grocery store. You should park your car so you can see both entrances. My reasoning for this will become clear later in this case. Now you're going into the store and are doing your shopping. At several points during your shopping, you see some man watching you. You feel uneasy about him. You may feel in your gut he may be thinking of assaulting you or robbing the store. Your response could be to leave your cart where it is and go to your car. If you think he is following you, ask a store employee to escort you to your car. Even if you are a man with a gun, I would ask a store employee to walk me to my car. In this manner, you're doing everything in your power to avoid a shooting. Once in your car, you could watch both entrances, and when the man leaves, you could go back in the store. A policeman told me another variation of this case. He said his wife was in the grocery store and a man started following her around the store, making sexual comments to her. He eventually followed her out to her car and tried to rape her. She had a gun and pulled it out on him, which kept him from raping her. If you are walking on the street, you should continually scan the area 360 degrees around you. It is helpful to look over your shoulder to see what is behind you. If you're noticing the same person walking behind you, stop and pretend you're looking in a store window. Then glance back and make sure that person is following you. If you think someone is following you, you can go into a store or place of business. If you are in a store, ask a store employee to call store security or the police. Wait with the employee or a group of shoppers until security arrives. If someone is following your car, proceed to a police station or to a crowd of people. Stay in your locked car with your motor running. Call the police and tell them where you are and a description of the car that is following you. No matter what your situation you are in, whether you are at home or in public, you should be observant of your surroundings. Put distance between yourself and anyone you feel uncomfortable about. Practice different situations with your family so they know how to respond.